What's up guys, welcome back to a new video. As always, Henry SVTV here, coming at you with more gaming content. And today my friends, we have a very promising game to talk about, and that is no other than STALKER 2. As some of you probably already know, there's a lot that has been going on around this game lately, but there's certainly more updates in regards to weapons, customs for the characters, and the way that each of the characters will look in the massive universe that has definitely raised a lot of excitement. So in today's video, we're going to go through what I just mentioned a moment ago, but additionally, we will go through everything that has been confirmed for this game so far. So buckle up, because there's definitely a lot of things that we're going to be talking about today. Now before we start, I want to kindly ask you to please give this one a thumbs up so that we can get to as many people as possible. And while you're at it, if you enjoy this content, consider subscribing and activating all notifications on so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And without further ado, let's get right into the action. Now first things first, STALKER 2 is now targeting not only PC players, but the game will also have a release on Xbox Series X, and additionally it will also enter the Xbox Game Pass on console from day one. So just from that point, there's definitely a lot of great news when it comes to the available platforms for the game. Something else that really got my attention is that developers from GSC World are really taking things to the next level with the usage of Unreal Engine, but we're going to get into that in just a moment. Now just to give a little bit of more context to what we're talking about right now, let's dive into what STALKER 2 is. Also, as you might know or find interesting, is that there are three previous games, which are STALKER Shadow of Chernobyl, STALKER Clear Sky, which is pretty much a prequel, and then we have STALKER Call of Pripyat, which is the sequel to the first game. Now for these games, definitely they have a lot in common, in which you're set inside of one of the deadliest zones in a planet, which is also referred as to the zone, and you being one of the survivors have to deal not only with the radiation but also with the anomalies and creatures that have mutated in this zone. Now in STALKER 2, as interesting as it sounds, it will be a standalone project that can be enjoyed on its own, and the game will take place inside the Chernobyl exclusion zone. As well, you can expect new locations to discover along with the old ones, from which we could potentially be looking at the Dark Valley, Rostok, Janar, Pripyat, and more. Now something else that has been confirmed is that there will be new artifacts and mutants that we will be able to see in this universe. So in other words, new players will be able to enjoy this game in full without having to go through the previous games, but at the same time, if you're a returning player from this franchise, then you will have a much more immersive experience. Although it is a standalone story, there are elements for this game that cannot be changed, so you'll still be looking at a unique blend of FPS with an immersive touch of horror, with a really thick atmosphere that is lived within this zone. Additionally, developers have confirmed that this game will be a complete open world, which is different to what we have seen in the past, and they've stated that it will be one of the biggest open worlds to date. So I assume there will be a lot of exploration involved, multiple quests, as well with the new mutated ones that have been added, along with an epic branching story which supposedly will have multiple endings. And you might wonder, how come there will be multiple endings? Well, the reason why is because developers have also included a system in which your choices will influence both short and long term, and they will have consequences and global outcomes within the main story. Now this last section, in terms of the outcome of the options or choices that you will have to make, definitely brings a lot of new excitement, and it could also impact the length of the main campaign. Now remember that at the beginning I mentioned that developers are trying to take this game to a whole new level using Unreal Engine. Well, for this one I want to quote unquote, and it happens that for developers, visuals are critical for the immersion in the world we create. So there are a lot of modern technologies involved. STALKER 2 runs on Unreal Engine, and we have motion capture for both bodies and faces, and photogrammetry to achieve the required levels of realism. I am really surprised to see more and more developers trying to achieve a high level of realism, and we have seen also some of these in the past with some of the games such as Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, where they also use motion capture for the face expressions and to create a more realistic body movement. Now right now, let's have a look at some of the changes that are being created by the developers in the game for each character, and how they plan to create a universe in which all of the characters will have a different look, or as they have mentioned, a different smile. As you can see right now, even the teeth are being modified in the character, as well as I am sure many of other elements or factions from the face will be able to be modified as well. And this only ups my expectations a lot more, because they also stated that they plan on having not a single one character that looks like that is the same with the other one. Now I don't know about that for sure, but sounds promising. And we can also see here some some of the new customs that have been created even for the different factions in the game, from which we can see the freedom and the duty factions. Now to top it up, the game is centered in a shooter experience, and what better way than to create an immersive experience for the guns as well. Here you can see some of the guns that will be featured in the game, which we can see it's a large variety of weapons ranging from shotguns, long-range rifles, and also assault rifles, which we can even have grenade launchers. All of these modifications that you can implement or add to the guns, and basically the arsenal for this game has been confirmed to include more than 30 weapons, and all of them will have multiple modifications for each gun, so there's definitely a lot going on within the development for this game. Please be aware that this footage is a work in progress, and this can be improved with time to deliver a really great game in the end. So again, I'm very hyped for this game. I know with what we've seen in the past, this game can potentially be also a really good game, but I'll leave it up to you guys. Alright folks, what do you guys think of the game? Is this a game that you see yourself playing once it's released? And let me know in the comments. And as always, I want to thank you for watching. It is highly appreciated. Remember to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. And as for me, this is the video that I had prepared for you today, and I will see you on my next one. Goodbye.